Okay, my darlings, welcome back, sorry, to the Alex Beyond Thoughts podcast, and YouTube and wherever you are watching this. This episode is all about the unstoppable woman. So if you wanted to know all the details, all the good bits, and a little bit of training in between, this is the episode for you. So, uh, beginning with the title, The Unstoppable Woman, this course is all about becoming the most unstoppable version of yourself, becoming your authentic self, becoming the communicator, becoming the connector, like just all of the most potent versions of yourself combined. That is the unstoppable woman. So this course is 8 weeks long. We have 4 live calls and 4 pre-recorded drops. That is the most effective way, I think, to absorb all of this content and to really get to grips with everything I'm teaching throughout the Unstoppable Woman. So we begin in 3 kind of sections. We begin with the communicator. So that is your masculine and feminine, it is your trust, and it is your communication. So those are the 3 modules within the communicator. And within this, we are teaching you how to, sorry, I don't know if you can hear my stomach. My stomach is rumbling. Um, sorry, carry on. We dive into the first call, which is on balancing and learning your masculine and feminine. That includes learning your traits, learning your wounded, learning your healed versions of your masculine and feminine, and learning what that balance looks like for you. If you're in my world, I'm going to assume that that balance means you're shifting more into your feminine, because for the majority of women, you exist in your feminine most of the time, or at least that is where we feel most comfortable. For a percentage of women, you do exist in your masculine, and that's absolutely perfect for you. It's whatever feels the most authentic for you. And for most women, we're going to be talking about our feminine because that's where most of us lean into. Therefore, that's going to be our focus. But we're going to learn all the juicy bits you need to know about your healed masculine and how your unhealed masculine is actually holding you back a little bit in life. It's making some things extra hard for you, and we don't want that anymore. So we're going to be learning all about that in week 1. That is on the 5th of February. So if you are on this episode of Alex Beyond Thoughts and you're thinking, well, 5th February is coming up quick, definitely get in because the price for this course is raising as soon as we hit the 5th of February. If you're listening to this after, you have full price, and that is absolutely perfect for you. I am so excited for you to get in regardless. Maybe just keep my post notifications on next time. Okay, second call. Week 2, this is the 12th of February. We are diving into trust and what trust means in the most base sense of the word, and what trust means in the highest, most connected form of the word. So this is all the way from like the trust you give to your parents, to the trust you give to your partner, to the trust you hold in your relationships, to the trust you hold in your business, in your containers, in that kind of thing. So this is going to range from just personal life to business to careers to whatever it means to you. We're going to be diving into trust in all of the areas that we need to. So that one I'm really excited about because trust is so fundamental. Building evidence, building trust, building safety in yourself. All around trust is just absolutely perfect. It's going to help build those foundations you need as a communicator to have the most unstoppable life. Week 3, we are diving into communication. So this is the final call of the communicator part of the Unstoppable Woman. So we're really getting clear on what communication styles you use, the communication styles your partner might use, the communication styles you need to use in different areas of your life, and how listening is such an active part of communicating. It's super, super vital that we learn how to both communicate effectively and listen effectively, because if you're not listening, you're not going to be communicating effectively at all. So I'm so excited to bring the communication module to you. It's going to be really invaluable for being able to talk through so many of the feelings we have as women. We have a lot of feelings. And I know if you're a woman, you're feeling me right now. The range is wild from the minute we wake up to the minute we hit the, hit the pillow and go to sleep. The range of emotions you can feel in a day, feeling an hour actually is completely wild. So being able to communicate all the things you're feeling, communicate effectively with your partner, because actually we communicate in completely different styles. We're going to learn all about that. It's just invaluable. It's an invaluable piece of information to know and to understand and start integrating into your life. Okay, communication rounds off the communicator portion. That is 3 weeks of the Unstoppable Woman. Into the 4th week, we are starting the powerhouse section. And doesn't that just feel amazing? Doesn't that just feel super good, super clean, super lovely to be called a powerhouse? Well, it's because you are. So in the powerhouse section, we are kicking it off week 4, the 26th of February. We're kicking it off with a live call on priorities and expectations. I know. To be a powerhouse, you have to have your priorities and you have to have your expectations to a high standard. We're going to actually get really clear on what your priorities need to be, where your values lie, what your wants and needs are. And we're going to get clear on what you're expecting of yourself, what you're expecting of others, both in a romantic way, in a friendship way, in a family way, whatever it is. We're going to get clear on your expectations for others. And we're going to get clear on your expectations for your future and what you want and need and value out of your future so that we can deliver on all aspects in being an unstoppable woman. Part of being an unstoppable woman is having direction, having goals, having ambition. It helps us feel like we're progressing somewhere. Managing your priorities, managing your expectations is going to be a key part of that. Very excited for that to kick off the powerhouse section. Okay, week 5, we are jumping into confidence. Now, this is super vital. Your confidence as an unstoppable woman, can I even say the word unstoppable woman, is pretty high up there. All of these are pretty high up there, to be honest, but this specific module on being confident in yourself, in your abilities, in your conviction, in your progress, in your relationships, in the way you present yourself, like confidence across the board is super important for being the most authentic version of yourself. Because if you don't back yourself 100%, why are you expecting others to? If you don't back your business, who's going to buy into it? If you don't back your career, who's going to be fighting for your next promotion? If you don't back yourself, your good looks, you being a hot woman, how are you going to build and cultivate that magnetic energy to get your perfect man, your perfect woman, your perfect person? It's going to be really hard, right? So confidence is kind of key in being your unstoppable woman and being your authentic self. So we're going to be jumping into confidence in week 4. No, sorry, week 5, which is the 4th of March. Had to think of the months there. And there were just 2 modules in the powerhouse because I wanted to keep it concise in the powerhouse and just really focus on your priorities and expectations and your confidence to build you into the powerhouse that you know you are. So, starting the 3rd and final section of the Unstoppable Woman, we have the Embodied Woman. Week 6 kicks off on the 11th of March with a call on sub-desires versus control. So that submissive desire part of you versus control. Letting go, giving into your desires, knowing how to be and when to be submissive because you desire it, not for any other person's expectations or needs. And learning when to let go of control, when to take back control, when to have control over certain things in your life, and when to actually just be and let be. What control looks like in terms of your partner and how dominant versus submissive and control versus freedom kind of work in this dynamic and work in a passion-filled relationship in a polarizing, that's the word, a polarizing relationship. So we're really getting clear on what your sub desires, what your control all kind of look like in this dynamic on week 6. Then with week 7, the 18th of March, we are looking at feminine CEO embodiment. You don't have to just be a CEO to be part of this. You are the CEO of your life. You are the CEO of your future. You are the CEO of your destiny. You are in control of all of that. No one else. Literally no one else. So when we're talking about feminine CEO embodiment, we're talking about the feminine leader of your life, being embodied in the leading of your life. That is what we're talking about in the feminine CEO embodiment. We will be talking to an element of being a literal CEO in a business, owning your own thing, doing your own thing in your business or your career or whatever. But really, it's centered towards being the leader and the CEO of your life and embodying that power, embodying being the woman who's in control, being the woman who's driving forward your own path. Very, very excited for that one. It's really impactful in the way that we're not taught to take up space, to take up power, to be unapologetic in ourselves. And we're really looking into that in the feminine CEO embodiment section of The Unstoppable Woman. Week 8, the 25th of March, we are rounding off this container with the section on influence and discipline. These are going to be transformational in your process of becoming the unstoppable woman. The kind of influence you have over yourself, over your desires, over your behaviors, the kind of discipline you have over those things too, the kind of discipline you have over yourself and your actions you're taking or the actions you aren't taking. All of these are going to be key. Even the influence you have over other people, which is super important in terms of building business, being the CEO of your life. You need that kind of influence over people in order to get them into the spaces that you know are going to be beneficial for them. You need to have some kind of influence, some kind of persuasion, some kind of discipline. And yeah, the influence and discipline one is definitely going to go on so long. We are going to go so deep into that section and into that module because it is such a key part of being an unstoppable woman. Like I said, with all of them, they're super key, they're super relevant. That's why they're all included in this container. This list was about 10 modules, 10 weeks long. I cut it down into 8 because I wanted to give you super impactful, super important, super relevant guidance into how to be the most authentic version of yourself, how to be this unstoppable woman. So when I say there could have been more, there absolutely could have been. But that is it. That is the final week of the embodied woman. That is the final week of the unstoppable woman. And throughout that, dotted throughout that, we have 3 days of Q&A and group coaching in Telegram. So that is an app that we use for voice messaging, for picture messaging, texting, all that kind of thing. That is the app we will use for 3 days throughout the container. So for 3 days, dotted, I think, throughout each section. So the communicator, the powerhouse, the embodied woman, we will be having a Q&A day. You get to ask me any extra questions you had that you haven't had answers to in our live calls. You get to talk very specifically into your personal experience rather than kind of generic questions. We can dissolve and integrate some of the things that are coming up for you throughout the container. Also, we have some journal prompts. They're going to be PDFs that you have access to. So when you're going throughout this container, you have access to your prompts for journaling to help you become this embodied woman that little bit further, help you journal and work through your thoughts on things. And finally, if you join the Unstoppable Woman, you will have discounted access to the 2 containers. The first of her name, the 6-month-long one-to-one container, and you will have discount to First Class, a 3-month-long one-to-one container. Absolutely. Increíble. I am so excited for this. So excited for the Unstoppable Woman. I'm so excited to see the transformations in you, to see the kind of progress you make as a result of being in this course, to see the kind of change that comes in your life, in your relationships, in your business, in yourself, as a result of committing to yourself in this way. So that is all I'm going to say for now. Just get yourself in this container. If you're feeling the pull, trust yourself. You know that it's the right thing for you. If it's not going to be now, when are you going to do this thing? If you aren't going to commit to yourself in this way, when will you? I'm going to leave you with that, leave you with those thoughts. I love you so much. And if you're already inside this container, just know it's going to be incredible. If you're not inside this container, know that it will be truly transformational for you, and you will be so glad. On that 8th week, when you finally completed the Unstoppable Woman, you will be so glad that you took this chance on yourself and you said that this is for you. Okay. I will see you inside the container. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Alex Beyond Thoughts podcast. I will see you in the next one.